If the sun were to disappear right now, what would happen to Earth? Not an eclipse, not a malfunction, but a complete physical disappearance from the laws of nature. What would you see? This is one of the cruelest thought experiments based on current scientific understanding. In the next moments, you will witness Earth's true fate minute by minute, century by century after losing its star. For the first 8 minutes and 20 seconds, you would notice nothing at all. Because both light and gravity, two fundamental constants of the universe, travel at the speed of light, the sunlight reaching us right now actually left the sun 8 minutes and 20 seconds ago. So when the disappearance happens, you remain completely unaware. Human civilization continues operating normally in the sun's final glow, enjoying its last 8 minutes and 20 seconds. This is the final dusk of humanity. According to general relativity, gravity also propagates at the speed of light, which means that the moment sunlight vanishes from our sky, Earth breaks free from the sun's gravitational pull. Our planet instantly becomes a runaway world, drifting uncontrolled into interstellar space, moving in a straight line tangential to its former orbit at nearly 30 kilometers per second, never to return. This is a double loss. We lose both our source of light and heat, and the gravitational anchor that held us in orbit. During those last 8 minutes and 20 seconds, cities remain loud, countrysides remain peaceful, and no one realizes that Earth has already become a wanderer in the cosmos. This extreme ignorance right before an unimaginable transformation creates one of the most dramatic tensions possible on a cosmic scale. 8 minutes and 20 seconds later, eternal night arrives. The sky shuts off as if someone flipped a cosmic switch, plunging the world into absolute darkness. The moon disappears. Venus, Mars, Jupiter, all gone instantly. None of them produce their own light. They only reflected the sunlight that no longer exists. Yet now the stars above look brighter than ever, cold, sharp diamonds scattered across a velvet black sky. Under this deceptively beautiful starlight, a silent catastrophe unfolds at the base of the biosphere. Photosynthesis stops worldwide instantly. The ultimate energy source for almost all life on Earth is cut off at the root. For humans, the first reaction is global panic, chaos, and disbelief. Social media collapses under an avalanche of speculation and rumors. Then, large-scale blackouts begin. Solar power fails first, triggering a cascade. Within minutes or hours, electrical grids around the world collapse under extreme stress. Cities lose their glow, one after another. People turn on flashlights, car headlights, anything to fight back a darkness unlike any in human history. This darkness is different from any night we have ever known, because behind it, there is no longer a thing called dawn. 1 hour after the event, temperatures begin to plummet. Earth becomes a corpse of heat, losing thermal energy to space through infrared radiation. Heat accumulated over billions of years. The temperature begins a steady, unstoppable decline. After one day, global temperatures drop by around 5 to 10 degrees Celsius. Humans, emerging from their initial shock, fall back on primal survival instincts. Societal order teeters on collapse. People rush supermarkets, seizing food, water, candles, batteries. Heating needs skyrocket instantly. Coal, oil, natural gas, once the engines of civilization, become precious lifelines. The outdoors grows perilous not just because of the cold, but because of the darkness and the breakdown of order. After 1 week, a new frozen normal takes shape. The global average temperature falls to around 0 degrees Celsius. Unprecedented snowfall blankets former temperate and tropical regions. The oceans, Earth's massive heat reservoir, begin releasing enormous amounts of heat into space. Order slowly resurfaces in pockets of survivors. Humanity gathers near remaining energy sources. Nuclear power plants, geothermal hotspots, large hydroelectric dams, or underground bunkers with massive fuel reserves. The once connected global society fractures into isolated, regional survival communities. In this new world, scientists and engineers become humanity's most valuable assets. Life now revolves around a few core tasks: finding and distributing food, maintaining energy systems, and resisting the endless cold. Agriculture becomes history. After 1 month, a global glaciation begins. Surface temperatures plunge to -20 to -30 degrees Celsius. The oceans start freezing from the top, with ice thickening every day. Atmospheric circulation, the force behind storms and monsoons, weakens as temperature differences fade. After a few final blizzards, the world falls silent. The surface is no longer habitable. Survivors retreat underground, the ark of a new humanity. They rely on nuclear and geothermal energy to sustain a fragile artificial ecosystem. Some attempt hydroponics, with artificial lighting, growing mushrooms and shade-loving vegetables. Strict food rationing becomes the foundation of survival. After 1 year, Earth has transformed beyond recognition. Surface temperatures stabilize between -70 and -100 degrees Celsius. At these temperatures, the atmosphere begins to snow. Carbon dioxide, then oxygen and nitrogen reach their freezing points and fall to the ground like frost. The planet becomes coated in a new layer of frozen air atop the thick oceanic ice, now hundreds of meters deep. If you could return to the surface, you would witness a surreal world. A silent, frozen globe wrapped in white crystalline air and deep blue ice. Under eternal starlight, it is breathtaking and utterly dead. Deep underground survivor enclaves maintain faint connections through buried fiber optic lines, exchanging knowledge to keep civilization alive. They become humanity's living hard drives. Their mission is no longer progress, it is survival, and the preservation of human knowledge. 100 years later, the surface becomes an absolute death zone. Temperatures fall below -200 degrees Celsius, nearing absolute zero. The atmosphere has collapsed entirely, frozen onto the ground. Earth now resembles Pluto, a frozen rock, drifting through space. If any humans survive, they exist only in geothermal sanctuaries, deep beneath places like Iceland or Yellowstone, barely clinging to life. Generations later, they evolve into isolated societies with new cultures. The sun becomes myth, a legendary god of light and warmth. 1,000 years later, life's final refuge lies in the deep ocean. The surface ice is kilometers thick, but beneath it, protected by the ice and warmed by Earth's interior, hydrothermal vents still create pockets of liquid water. These vents, once the cradle of life for billion years ago, become life's last sanctuary. Tube worms, shrimps, and countless microbes live here, never relying on sunlight, only on geothermal chemical energy. The sun's disappearance means nothing to them. They continue, unaware of everything lost above. Earth's final spark of life survives here. 1 million years later, Earth approaches its ultimate fate. In most scenarios, it remains a frozen, silent rock, drifting endlessly through space. As the core cools, geological activity stops. Hydrothermal vents shut down. Deep sea life fades away. The magnetic field collapses. Yet there is a tiny poetic possibility. After millions or even billions of years wandering the stars, Earth might be lucky enough to avoid destruction and be captured by another lonely star. If so, the ice may melt under new light. Yet the world that emerges will be alien, barren, and forever changed. This is the full story of a world without its sun. From the initial 8 minutes of ignorance, to the chaos of the first week, to the frozen centuries, and finally, the last island of life, 1 million years later. It reveals how fragile Earth is, and how resilient life can be. The sun's disappearance steals life's advantages, but forces the planet to reveal its final reserve, its still beating core. So when we stand under sunlight again, we should see not just a star, but the delicate, precise balance that sustains our entire civilization. Now, let's take this thought experiment one step further. If you could bring only 3 things into an underground refuge to preserve the final spark of human civilization, what would you choose? A seed, an encyclopedia, or a promise? Tell me your answer in the comments. If this journey into a dark, sunless Earth stirred something in you, Imagine what other cosmic truths are still waiting to be uncovered. Here on Interstellar Whispers, every week we explore the fragile beauty of our universe and the haunting possibilities that lie just beyond the edge of the known. So if you felt even a spark of curiosity today, tap like, hit subscribe, and share this video with someone who still looks up at the night sky with wonder. Your support helps us keep the whispers of the cosmos alive. And together, we'll continue unraveling the stories written in the stars. Stay curious. And I'll see you in the next discovery.